Hi Rush, how you doing?
You can't be serious.
It never ends! We gotta hit the number somehow. How do you figure, by the way? Hi Lucas as well, how you doing? I don't know, try a different stuff. You don't like it.
Meow.
Classic is better.
Hello,
Hi.
hello, hello, hi.
Hi there, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, I think.
Oh, glad to hear then, really glad to hear.
Hmm. I, I have an idea. I have a derailment idea for you right now.
What is it?
I think your animated profile should be you on the piano.
I could set up my own Discord reactive version on the website where I could just easily switch between different makers.
Yes, you can switch them like very easy on the website too.
What's on the agenda today? Well, on the agenda today, last stream we got a bit derailed. Let's call it. I don't know what to call it exactly. We did muffs.
What happened last stream?
We did muffs. We did lots and lots of different kinds of muffs, flavors, shapes, and sizes. This time, I almost said today. I almost just said today, however, when in reality the hold on, let me double check. The last stream was when?
Today.
4 hours ago. Yeah, there we go. So oh, and the live stream before that was 21 hours ago. Well, that's lovely.
It is the next day if you're in like India, though.
This is a beautiful screenshot. Thank goodness I'm not doing daily streams anymore, you know? That would have been annoying. Anyhow, anywhere. I have my like progress tracker, and over there, whenever I hit a new live stream number, I get my dopamine because this number goes up. You can see it's 12 already. 12%. We finished 12% of the work. Oh,
Yay.
isn't that something? Yeah.
Can you believe, guys? 12% down.
I had to drink some water.
Meow.
Yeah, I know. This. What have I even been doing here? Right, I'm moving this, and then we have the x coordinate. So in this case, let's start with the x coordinate. What's the x coordinate right there? The x coordinate is x. Somebody could have the x coordinate right here. But now we x plus h, which means we like another bar. This time going slightly longer, I imagine, maybe. Or just another bar that's going from here to here, and that'll be, oh, that's an idea. For some reason, I'm feeling like H should be blue. 5, there we go. Up here and right there. And then the exact same setup, only difference being this goes in right. So bloody hell. Trim curve to measure this right there. There we go. And you go in. However, you will be the H. And then what? Then the curve shall start with this one begins, and it will be, I'm gonna have the second number, which will be the X. Oh, piss. Ah, math. Subtract from this one. Ah, shall we get any sleep? I imagine you've got.
Because now I'm in the full mood for studying, so
On the grind. She's on the grind set.
There we go. I need to play some of my workaholic music. There we are.
Nobody watching. There is nobody watching. That's amazing.
yeah. Big shout out to all
What do
the
you mean?
people
Figure?
on the screens.
What subjects in maths, chemistry, and physics you guys dislike/hate the most?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me think. Well, I hate number theory for starters.
I have a subject for you. How in maths, it's how math standards are just not standard and not consistent across nations whatsoever fucking ever. For example, if you take 1 billion, the number, that's a number in Polish. It is not, the Polish 1 billion is not 1 billion like in English though, because it's just not. Why? Why are the numbers fucking different? Why? I hate this.
I have
It's the worst.
no idea what you're referring to.
Okay, well, go to fucking translator. Right now, type 1 billion on the Polish side and see the result.
Translate. I mean, I know what how to translate billion.
Yeah, it's the same in German, I think. In German, a billion is a trillion in English.
Yes, the same thing. Why? How could the numbers themselves be fucking inconsistent? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
A billion translates
That's so
to
stupid.
billion translates. What am I missing?
What's it now?
Billion translates to a billion in the translator.
Hold on, Mike.
And it's spelled with a single L because that feels more correct in the Polish way.
No. Okay, I don't think you did it correctly. Hold on, let me just.
Imagine if the L's in million were quantitative of like how many
The amount of-
millions there are.
I don't. Why is it like that in this one?
Yeah, exactly. Figured that's what I was.
Well,
Milliard
They-
is the German for billion. Oh, yeah, in Polish it's actually really similar.
yes, it's the same, but like they all have the arts, so that means they are like off-centered from the ones without them, which is the default one, which is the English one. So the numbers are just, they don't fucking correspond to each other at all.
I mean, maybe, but in Polish, I genuinely have no, because I didn't even know that billion was a word in Polish.
Well, whenever they say, I mean, they say milliards like all the time, you know, milliards,
Yeah,
and
that's
that
the
refers to
translation.
the fucking billions in English, and it's stupid.
Why? It's a I don't understand why it's just a translation. It's the same way.
If they are the same word, why do they mean different things, though? You know?
But that's how translation works with every language.
What?
Like, for example, M and Ben. Like, in English you have M, in Dutch you have Ben. Like, they mean the same thing, but they're different words because of different languages. Just like right here, they mean the same
I
thing.
know,
but
yeah,
it's
I know
different.
there are some few words that like have different meanings that are like, you know,
I am
but they are few words that like, you know, the whole fucking math system. When like, okay,
Yeah,
I show you a number, and actually the number, if it's in Polish, the number is actually very big, and if it's in English, it's actually like half the fucking magnitude. Like doesn't make any fucking sense. If the fucking
there's
number
no-
that I wrote on the piece of paper is actually depends on what language I'm speaking, that's fucking terrible.
I'm sorry, is there such a word as a billion in Polish?
Yes.
I genuinely did not. I need to look that up now. I genuinely didn't know that billion was a word in Polish.
All the numbers are words, no?
The numbers are words.
Billion, trillion, like they just keep going up. And they are, again, off-center because they have the arts variants to them too.
I just
So, you know,
no the Polish
in English
word.
it goes million, billion, trillion, quadrillion. Here you have million, milliard, billion, billiard, trillion, trilliard. So you know, you got fucking double the.
I just genuinely
You
didn't
know.
know billion was a word.
How do? Why? How? What the fuck do you think it was called?
I never put much of a thought to it, to be honest. I thought it was a trillion, to be honest. I thought it was a trillion.
What?
English has some missing comparison. Yeah, I thought it was million, milliard, trillion. That's what I thought.
No, it's million, milliarder, billion, billiarder, or however you say
Yes.
I genuinely didn't know that.
So what country is it in? Because we already established it's in Poland, in Germany at least.
Could be not. Could be. That's really tricky.
You know, in my mother tongue, it's even weirder because we don't have a word for a million. I have a word for 10 million.
Isn't it weird also in German where like the order is messed up when you're saying something like 126?
No. Our order isn't messed up. Luckily, we do read our numbers properly from left to right. Actually, what the fuck am I talking about? The script is from right to left. We read our numbers.
I'm talking about
Holy shit,
German.
we read our numbers left to right, even though the script is right to left.
By the way, I'm talking about German. I was saying that in German isn't the order messed up. When you
Oh
do-
yeah, the order for the units and the tens is switched. So it's annoying.
Because otherwise we do it too easy.
Is it messed up in Dutch or?
Haven't got the clue, haven't gotten to the numbers.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I found a map. I just posted in here now. Yeah. Here's the fucking who uses which one. So apparently all the Europe except UK uses the arts. So it's just the English that doesn't have the fucking thing. The only language that we all speak doesn't have the. That's just wonderful.
Salute to Canada for as always being absolute cowards and trying to play both sides.
Yeah, it's literally just the fucking English, which is also the language we all fucking speak. That is fucking awesome.
German, for example, 20 in German is 28, translating 8 and 20. Yeah, that always messed me up as well. Also, the reason why I know the German number system, funny enough, well, the numbers, the basic numbers, you know, the basic tens, is because of Project E mod for Minecraft.
Oh
Because
my,
over
fuck
there
you,
you have
fuck
the
you,
stars,
dude.
and you have the eins, the zwei, and it just keeps going.
Back when I played the fucking Minecraft, I didn't know what those meant. I thought they were like fucking magic shit. No, it's just German.
Yeah. I've been duped again.
That is fucking disgusting.
I really like in Dutch how it's a mix between just English and then the most unreasonable, ungodly keyboard smashes you've ever seen in your life. The word for a man is man. The word for a kid is kind. But the word for a woman is vrouw. Spelled with a V at the very beginning.
Bro.
And it's nothing that bad. The word for I'm sorry, because there is a singular word for I'm sorry, is a fucking mess. Alzi.
In German, it's 3 words actually, but it's also 1 word. It depends on the situation a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Genuinely, so much of it is just. Except there is one difference, which is how you pronounce the letter G, which I think is funny. That's a genuine tip for all of you. If all of you ever find yourself in a situation where you want to speak Dutch and you want to pronounce the letter G, a good tip is to imagine that you're a Dutch person trying to spit out the French. So, for example, good, the word for good is spelled G-E-O-D. Good, right? Really similar. But you pronounce it goed. So it's like if you're spitting out the French, basically. Brilliant tip, you're welcome for it. Dag, again.
Backshot.
Goedendag, if I'm not mistaken, it's good day.
Oh, you mean tag? Oh, okay. Holy shit! I saw Dach as in like
D-A-G.
roof or something.
No,
in
no.
German.
D-A-G.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Dag is also a roof in Polish. What's happening? One of the languages is Slavic, the other one.
Isn't like German though? So like, yeah, it's fucking German. That's why. You know,
No, I don't.
because of this thing called we were under Germany for like 100 years, like you know, historically. So we have some words from German, you know.
I actually didn't know that was
This thing called
because-
history, you know. You don't know that, do you? Yeah, I forgot you did drop out of school. Sorry, my bad.
What? Crazy.
Yeah. No. Whatever. Actual American level education.
You know, I was about
What?
when Kathy said like make it he dropped out of school. I was gonna do the thing where it's like essentially the idea was in my head that's like, oh, it's not that like okay, how do I make this a good example, because I have no idea what I was thinking. It was not logical at all.
I don't know what you're saying either.
Yeah. Yeah, so you know how someone would say, for example, that when they get into a university, they'd be like, oh no, the university didn't accept me. I accepted the university, right? So like without thinking about it, I was about to say, oh no, he didn't drop out of school, the school dropped him. And then I realized that's the opposite of what I want to say.
That's funny.
Linguistics discussion. Ah, yes. Linguistics. But yeah, I already gave my answer. I hate number theory, so do with that information what you will.
Then we did go on a tangent.
What's number theory?
Theory about numbers. It is.
Yeah.
It's basically. Well, theory about numbers. Genuinely the best way to describe it.
Or is it like it took me 100 pages to prove 1 + 1 = 2?
No.
Is it that?
Not
No,
really.
that's different. That's not number theory, or at least that's not the.
You have to realize
that's not
that
number theory
in-
at all. That's just logic. Set theory.
You have to realize that in mathematics, you actually very rarely deal with numbers. You deal with fields, but when do you actually you deal with you treat fields as set, and then you deal with elements in that set. But how often do you actually deal with numbers? Like when you think of genuinely, when you note down something like x in R, you don't think of it. You don't think of x as a number.
There's a number, it's like pi as a number. You deal with pi.
Well,
You know,
Bertrand Russell. Bertrand
rather
Russell.
than constant.
Who's Bertrand Russell?
Oh my god, you do not know Russell's paradox?
No.
Damn, bro, is you need to. Holy shit! How do you not know? Oh my god. Okay.
I told you he dropped out of school, or I mean,
No,
school
they
dropped
don't
him.
teach
You
that
know.
in school. They don't teach that in school. But
Shut up! Let me make my fucking argument fit my fucking point. Shut up.
I mean, you can make your argument based on something factual. You don't have to lie.
Or I can lie on the internet. That's funnier.
Sure.
Wait, you say paradox? Russell's paradox?
Yeah, Russell's paradox.
Paradoxes of set theory or Russell's
Yes,
paradox? Right, there
theory.
it is. Okay. Set theory, paradox, position. Every set theory contains. Oh wait, is it set of all sets?
Yes.
Oh yeah, then I am familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
okay,
didn't
perfect.
know it's called Russell's paradox.
Usually, theorems that have a name before them are pretty important. So.
You know damn well my my approach towards learning terminology,
I mean,
or lack thereof rather.
yeah, I was gonna say that I don't think we learn terminology that much.
Yeah, because I am just very anti-terminology. I mean, I'm trying to change that, but progress
that's
be slow.
Oh my god, sync function, fucking hell. This crazy stuff.
Mickey, what's your hate subject? You mean like the most hated subject? Because I don't really have one. What would it be now? I don't think
Bureaucracy.
I don't think I have much. Most of the time it's the way they're taught, not really the subject itself. Because the closest I could say is cryptography. But that's simply because, well, people who make cryptography are pretentious, and because of that, a lot of names over there are extremely counterintuitive and unnecessary. Abstract mathematics is rough for the same reason, although they're not pretentious. They are just completely disconnected from reality.
Didn't you at one point get sick of Stokes' theorem?
Oh my goodness, yeah, but that's because of Lemon. I don't know what Stokes' theorem even is. I know it's Navier-Stokes theorem, I don't know what it is.
No, it's not Navier-Stokes theorem, bro.
It's not Navier-Stokes?
No, that's that's partial differential equation theory.
Wait, what was Navier then?
Navier is like, I don't know, it's like a fluid partial differential equation. Entirely different, actually.
Wait, Navier-Stokes theorem does exist?
Yeah, Navier-Stokes theorem does exist, but it's not Stokes theorem. Or the generalized Stokes
Oh
theorem.
yeah, because there's Kelvin-Stokes theorem and there's Navier-Stokes theorem, and... Wait, hold on. The Kelvin... that also deals with calculus.
Generalized Stokes theorem.
Okay, so there is Navier-Stokes, there is Kelvin-Stokes. Stokes theorem. The greed of that man. And there is also generalized Stokes theorem. Alright, brilliant.
Yeah.
Differential geometry. Cryptography is mostly funky modular operations. It's very much not. It's horrible and awful. Oh jeez, it took me like solid hours to get off a single photography algorithm because
Ow, fuck.
it was so obfuscated.
Oh my god, I was eating spices and now I accidentally rubbed my eye and now there's spices in my eye.
That's not ideal.
Navier Stokes, Kelvin Stokes, Stokes Carton. These are all different theories. The greed of that man. And there's also Stokes' law, because the greed of that man.
Yeah, where's the stoking my dick theorem?
Stoking is the word.
That's growth in Deek's principle, if anyone remembers that.
The measurement of variable. Jeez. Okay, I'm not going into that rabbit hole, that's unnecessary. But yeah, it doesn't matter. General Stokes theorem, no idea what it is either.
What happened to Lemon?
They left the internet.
Why?
It felt like it.
Every day, I live without ever knowing Lemon, and hearing about Lemon,
Because
I'm sad.
Lemon was a unit. She was just a unit. Like, the thing is,
Lemon was a madman.
Lemon was I don't even know how to. I saw Ryan Gosling did some facelifts or plastic surgery. What? That is so out of character. Guy and Rosling. Hold on,
No way.
Ryan Gosling. Maybe. I would need to see some sources on that. If you're gonna come here with such a ponderous claim as no need to big, but has way less wrinkles. Are you saying it was a cosmetic surgery? Because he just could age backwards. Okay. Where's the two of them? Oh, that's why. That makes sense. That's quite a big cooldown. That's fine. That can be true. That would explain why it looks worse. He's missing the experience.
Iron God. Bro. Only God. Nice.
I suppose this is rounded, so I just realized it may not actually hold, but whatever.
Meow.
I mean, these animations are quite smooth, I do have to say. I made it myself, so I do have to say. Huh.
What?
I know it can't be why I messed up the second what all happens. What is next to render? Because we can't be wasting time. Time be wasting.
Meow.
Right here icon. Is right here icon which is the function of x. We can in fact that's nice. Let's right here take this and 40 and then or actually these points are kind of relevant, I just realized. No, whatever happens.
Why?
This. Here then. I start. Wait, no, that's incorrect. Time wastes by what bin do you throw it in? You're, Theo, I can see how hard you're trying to get the colony bar again. I shan't give you another one. I'm not. Theo, you're causing a nationwide shortage of colony bars. You shouldn't begin right there. You should begin. I'm losing myself in all of this. This right here, which means this is the actual vector we want to plug in. There we go, and then this for the height. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
This one. Okay. This one's a toilet small that happens. There we go. And then once again, the same exact kind of animation. There we are. Bless me. Ah. Bless you. Thank you, Figure. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being polite, and like some other people I could mention. Okay. There we are. I get that the stream is boring, but in my defense, I am working. Eventually I'm gonna catch up with the edits to the animations we have rendering, and then we can, I don't know, play some Mega Monk maybe or something like that. I promise I'll make this more interesting. I've been thinking about the charity because I want to help, but I've not even because I have knowledge to research and I can't code. Maybe we'll help by reading your cliffhanger. That's risky. I worry where the sentence is going, but I thought maybe it would help by reading your and then ... does worry me. Ah, shucks. This is also supposed to go even further. Scripts and giving feedback on how to make it more understandable. I think I'm able to help because almost everybody here already understands the topic, so of course the explanation makes sense, but I'm new learning and I'm help with that. I can also edit it a bit, so volunteer as a car, so I think it's already understand this. So let's time will every level in the future I could help you there. Well, that's a lot of suggestions. First things first, reading the scripts wise and making it understandable. I feel like that we've gotten pretty fixed. You're actually person number 5 by now suggesting that, funny enough. Edit videos, that could be actually genuinely helpful because I will be looking for an editor soon enough. So, and when I say soon, that will probably happen next month. So if you're willing to, more than welcome. Running charity social media account, that I don't think is necessary. I don't know if charity will have an Instagram or a TikTok account because it feels very much counter. I don't think there's any benefit to having an Instagram or a TikTok account. For us, I've managed my fair share of years without an Instagram or a TikTok account. And learning Istanbul, yeah, of course. Eventually that will be helpful. Hi, Unholy Fingerbow. Hi, welcome. Actually, I'm liking this event because we're starting a new chapter. Like this. There we go. And another piece of music. Video editing time. Yeah, it has to be done sometime, you know. It's thankless labor, but someone has to do it. I don't enjoy it much personally either. Premiere, I swear, why you like this? There we go. there's no breathing room here. I don't like it. Let's just move that slightly more back. There we go. I still don't exactly like the flow of this, but yeah. Okay, I like this a bit more. Oh, 1 minute 40. I do have it divided into 18 segment points of my progress trackers. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna. What is the current length for the video? Current length is 35.5 still, right? No, that's the first 12 minutes. There we go. 35.5. So 35.5 divided by 18 is 2 minutes. Oh, we still haven't reached 2 minutes. Shucks. Almost there though. Maggie, how's your life? Okay, the real life Don't Starve simulator going? Complicated. It is complicated. It's stressful, I would describe it. When they stream YouTube. I don't know whether I can together some videos on Insta, and if I got it the right, some of the videos from all the people with the charity. And in Germany there's a channel called Funk, which just uploads videos from all the people which are funded by the program, so something in that direction. I'm sorry, what? I thought more of cutting together some of your videos on Insta, and if I got it right, the goal is to fund other videos from other people with the charity. And in Germany there's a channel called Funk, which just uploads videos from all the people which are funded by the program, so in that direction. I don't quite understand what you're saying, Adrian. I mean, first things first, as I mentioned, cutting videos on Insta wouldn't be necessary because I don't think we'll have an Instagram account. I don't see the value in an Instagram account. I don't see a point to it.
Oh my god, these notes have the same energy as when I'm trying to like teach you something about maths, because like it doesn't define the difference between compactness and sequential compactness at all, which is like a pretty subtle difference. But then it like overstates what an open covering is, and like by this point I think everybody knows what an open covering is. Like, holy shit.
And the value of the account being that you can give the people and projects funded by the charity a platform. And Funk is just an organization which is in Germany. I mean, the charity, like when the charity will be making videos, we'll just upload them on YouTube. When charity will be making live streams, we're just gonna stream them on YouTube, eventually maybe on YouTube and our own website. And when the charity is making like resources, they will be also uploaded onto our website. So I don't see any value in the Instagram account. The reason why YouTube is because there just genuinely isn't anything else that handles video quite as well as YouTube. And setting up our own system for that, it's unnecessary. You could get a bigger reach with the charity. Bigger reach for what? I mean, no offense to people who utilize Instagram, but Do you really watch Instagram to learn about science? Is that really one of the usages of Instagram? As I mentioned, I've never really had an Instagram account because it's just social media. I don't feel I need to partake in.
I mean, based on personal experience, and by personal experience, I mean the experience of watching Instagram on my friends' accounts, because I don't use Instagram myself either. Most of the videos that are like educational are like, how do I explain this?
Edutainment
They're not like
curiosities.
pop science. It's like there's going to be a 1 minute video of like some really condensed information, and like
So like
something really either basic or something that nobody cares about.
so pop science, edutainment, more for entertainment than education.
Yeah, I don't think that the type of videos that we do here, which usually like require proper attention and like time, like like it's a long form video, longer than Instagram Reels at least. I don't think it would be suited to that much.
More people request more money. Well, that's what someone said. It's not about money. It's about sending a message. I mean, I don't know about this whole Instagram thing. I don't like the looks of it. The point of if I wanted to make more money, I wouldn't start a foundation. I would have started a company. The reason why I started a foundation is because I wanted science communication, proper science communication, something which I don't think happens often enough. I think you could cut a snippet of a video about every particle of the Sun model and explain one particle per reel, but I get it, that would be sure about how The problem with the particle physics video is that in that video, that video was more about the setup to a standard model, but it wasn't a proper science video. Like, I didn't really go in depth in the actual better in-depth video, not best, not great, but better, would be the more recent one. Hold on. I need to go to my own channel real quick. It would be making atoms more complicated, or from quarks to atoms. Those, well, from quarks to atoms. Yes, I think from quarks to atoms would be, but still, I'm not too happy with that because that's not quite as accurate of science. It could have been more accurate. Making atoms more complicated is just like overcomplicated, etc., etc. The one with fields, I did like this one because it displays the fields, which is nice. That's festive, and this one I do believe also ended in that. Yeah, the tritium decay. This one I did like because it's a great visualization of fields. Your standards are great. For me, it was great and it taught me a lot. I mean, yeah, it did teach a lot, but it wasn't like really proper physics. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, don't get me wrong. But it could have included a lot more physics. I think it's really watch the YouTube vid for best most topics. There aren't many things you can pop something to. Oh, here's a little fun fact in 20 seconds. I mean, you can do fun facts, and there are a lot of like trivia, trivia edutainment videos on Instagram or TikTok, but those are usually more about like history or just some pseudo studies. And it's really difficult to do that for physics because or chemistry or medicine, biochemistry, mathematics, because all of that usually, in order to get to the interesting part, requires a lot of context. So for example, the simple question of or why isn't water explosive if it's made up of hydrogen and oxygen, in order to actually explain it properly, you need to go through electron configurations and electron clouds. Because otherwise it's going to be a bit confusing. Too much to advanced maths, I think. Yeah, but the whole point is that there is a way to explain advanced math which still makes it understandable. There's a way to explain advanced maths which makes it seem simple, seem easy, seem obvious. And that's the point, that's the goal.
I don't think it's necessarily that it's advanced maths either. Like, the thing is, like, take topology, for example. Like, you can condense the video of a mug turning into a donut in like a 5-second GIF. Like, it really isn't that hard. But like explaining the principle behind it, like why do we care that a mug is the same as a donut? What does same even mean in the context? That thing is like pretty non-trivial, and like if someone is suddenly interested in that, like they watch the reel and they're like, oh wow, this sounds interesting, I want to read up more on it. And then like, okay, it depends, but like for example, if they just end up with the algebraic topology book by Alan Hatcher, yeah, they're gonna be fucked, because like no layman can understand that book. Like, that's just the truth of it.
Yeah, in our case, the goal of the foundation is to basically bridge the gap between common understanding of science, things we all know, stuff like forces, for example, stuff like chemical reactions, stuff like electrons, they exist, etc., etc. Merge that with introductions to advanced things. So the point is that when someone is done with sources provided by the foundation, they should be comfortable with going into specializing into that field. As in, there are a lot of times where like you ask someone if they would like to study physics, for example, and they're like, oh no, that's too advanced for me. Well, the goal here is that afterwards they should say, I could give it a shot. I could give a shot studying physics. That's the point. Because I feel like that is just horrendously... Like, Freeborn and Brown does a brilliant job of that, in my opinion. Where Freeborn and Brown actually tackles genuine maths, not like... and not just things that are flashy, only things that are genuine. Like Fourier transform, for goodness sake. Fourier transform is one of the most useful maths tools of modern science. Linear algebra, whole series, if I recall correctly, there was. I think calculus also had a whole series, etc., etc. But for other fields of science, that doesn't really exist all that much. Most science communication like creators, they most of the time get stuck into this trap of being more into the trivia of science rather than the genuine science. Which I get why. I don't mean to bash them. I'm not saying that they're doing something bad. I'm just saying that it's a lot of wasted potential. Because trivia is fun and all, but it's a bit misleading of how then people think of science. Someone make it an extra work. It can provide some extra coverage. Well, I mean, maybe, but then it's still that's tricky for many reasons. Well, we'll get to the reasons in a second. I just need to edit this. There we go.
I mean, I get where they're coming from. Like, the idea is like,
But I think that's
channels for a practical example.
But I think in that case that's better to handle with YouTube Shorts.
I mean, yeah, but YouTube Shorts. What they're saying is that just don't do it just on YouTube. Do it on social media as well. Like,
maybe, but I would. In that case, I wouldn't feel exactly comfortable just leaving management to someone else, because unless I am confident that they have experience in this thing, because I don't. The thing is, you have to realize that as a social media manager for the foundation, you would have a shit ton of responsibility. You're meant to represent the foundation. It's a pretty big deal.
Oh yeah, but that's the logistics of it. I was just talking about the idea of it. The logistics are, of course, more complicated than.
I mean, yeah, but if we're talking just about the idea, then there are a lot of things I would like to do.
Yeah, okay, that's also fair.
Unfortunately, we need to talk about the practicals. When it comes to the idea of it, I would like to publish a book as a foundation. Unfortunately, that logistically is quite challenging.
Yeah, that's actually fair. Yeah.
I can't even give ideas. You say if it's good or bad. But then that just requires a lot more labor and care and effort. And more than it's worth. Eventually, yeah, that would be nice. But that's eventually. First, I would like to focus on the foundation actually being good for the public, and only then advertising that good for the public. Because I would consider Instagram and TikTok as not actually providing any value on their own, more like letting people know about other things that can provide value. That's how I think of it, right? No one will watch anything that we make on Instagram or TikTok for its scientific content. Only they will watch it to get hooked into the scientific content, so that then they go to YouTube or our website and then they learn.
Yeah, that's.
But in order,
the idea.
yeah, but in order for that to work, we need to have the resources on the YouTube and the website. So that's the priority. That's more like a catalyst, but
I mean, yeah, it could wait, I think.
I think it should wait, in fact, for a while.
Yeah.
I need help with editing like this, because this kind of editing doesn't require all that many. It doesn't require all that many explanation-wise creative decisions. It requires creative decisions of making the video basically presentable. It doesn't require a creative decision on what the explanation should be like, on what format it should take. And this I need help with, because this is just a genuine time sink for me. Yeah, kind of YouTube videos I will happily volunteer. That's a maybe. But the problem is, it's not just, well, I do plan on making shorts, even just for the 9th, but I will make these shorts myself, and I won't cut them from my existing videos. I will just remake the animations, because there are certain topics which you genuinely can explain in 3 minutes. So, for example, I have a list. For example, derivatives. I can explain in 3 minutes. Integrals, I can explain in 3 minutes as the area under the function. Partial derivatives as difference to derivatives with a 3-dimensional graph. Brass versus cats can be very simply. All of these are gonna have linked to full videos, obviously. States in physics. Oh, I didn't even mention that to you, Ash. I have a brilliant analogy for states in physics. Did I mention that?
No, you didn't.
For states and operators, and I'm so happy with it, because I came up with it actually. I came up with it in Minds, but I just haven't shared it yet. Okay, so consider a particle, right? You have some kind of particle. You can imagine a state and operator. You can imagine state of the particle as kind of an image of the particle that you take. So you take an image, and that image is a state of particle. And then you can think of operators as filters that you apply onto this image. And then, for example, the time evolution operator from T0 to T0 would be just a transparent filter, because it doesn't change anything. Hamiltonian, or even better, like a position bra, would be just a filter that only gives you the position information of the image. I'm genuinely so happy with that analogy.
I don't know if it works though.
How so?
You have a particle, and you're essentially just saying you can represent its state by essentially just freezing it in time and taking a snapshot of it.
Yeah, but that's the point. Because then as the particle changes, so for example, you have particle at T0 and you have particle at T1, right?
Yeah.
Well, then you take image of both of them and you have two different images. And then
Yes.
the time evolution operator, for example, from T0 to T1 will be just a filter that when you apply, when the concept light is much like a semi-translucent sort of piece of plastic, whatever, you add this filter on top, and the resulting image would look identical to the T1 image. That is an analogy. I'm happy with it because then you can.
If they're both, then they should look the same. Are you like saying that that's energy being conserved? Like,
No, that's the time evolution operator of if you have a state alpha T0 and you apply a time evolution operator from T0 to T1, then you get alpha state at T1. So T0 state with applied filter of the time evolution operator gives you the other state. I suppose in picture form, I suppose in animation form it would probably look a bit better and it would be more understandable. Hydromata, by the way, what's the new video about? This one about derivatives, but videos plural because these are all the ones I need to make before 9th of January. Make it, what are the biggest holes in your charity? What kind of people do you still need? And so on. So far, I'll be brutally honest with you. Depends on the genre, but I would say that in my personal opinion, in order, it will be first of all, animator, second of all, editor, third of all, organic chemistry expert, and fourth of all, someone to deal with the legal requirements. As in, for example, we'd like to apply for a whole bunch of grants, and that's a pretty heavy bureaucratic cost. So these are in order of most important, I would say, to least. Well, all of them are, these are the top four, so all of them would be extremely important to me. But that's from most to least. Because the thing is, animator and editor would be great, because that would free up the most of my time. And if I don't, right now, I am the only person who's making the videos. If that weight could be lifted off my shoulders, I can do a little bit of everything so far for the charity. I'm not the best at anything, but I can do everything. As in, I can be looking at the website, I can be researching, I can be making videos, I can be doing the bureaucratic stuff. All of these are within my abilities. There are people who would be better at every single one of them separately, but I can fill in the gaps. And so it would be really nice if I could get the weight off my back of being the only person that can do videos. That would be tremendous. And the organic chemistry expert, simply because we are really deep into abstract mathematics and theoretical physics, and it would be nice to get something, a tad more down to earth. That's more organic chemistry. Well, I mean, eventually it would be nice to have organic chemistry, but... Eventually, the way I imagine doing it is that I'm just waiting for the charity to be sustainable, and then I'm just going to hire an animator, because I've already mentioned it in the video where I explained the concept of charity. I am not actually that great at editing or animating. I can do it, but I've learned these skills Not because I wanted to be good at editing or animating, only because I wanted to explain stuff. And it just so happened that editing and animating helps. So this is kind of like, what would be an analogy for this? It's kind of like if you want to do physics, you're gonna learn mathematics. Not because you want to learn mathematics on its own, only because it's required in physics, right, Ash? That's why you learned mathematics, right? Because you wanted to do
I
physics.
learned mathematics because I wanted to do physics properly. So.
I could tell my studies from that. Organic chemistry. Theo, what we need is an organic chemistry expert. I've already mentioned that. I've mentioned that on a couple of occasions. What I would be ideally looking for is my golden standard would be an organic chemistry expert on the level of Remco and Flame. This is I consider Remco and Flame to be my golden standard for experts, because it's a specific combination of, first of all, talent and skill, second of all, rigorous study, and third of all, genuine willingness and ability to be a science communicator. The combination of these three things. If I could find someone like that for organic chemistry, my goodness gracious me. I mean, ideally, I would like to find someone like that for all the topics, but this is it's a very specific and selective group. It's not often that people have like all three of those traits, because they are all on their own. Each and every single one of them separately is extremely impressive. This is going a bit quicker. We're actually almost done with the editing of all the animations we have so far, which on one hand is good because that means progress. On the other hand, it's terrible because look how many there are left still. I did do study it. I teach organic chemistry as a substitute teacher. That's really good. That's a really good start. At what level have you studied it? And also, I suppose, I actually know how long ago isn't important. Like masters, bachelors. Who's doing deep in research? I mean, ideally, I would like research because, research is the most. The thing is, in order to research some kind of field, you need to be interested in that field on its own. Just being merely interested in applications, which is something that often happens, and for very obvious reasons, because usually applications are like the most interesting part of the field. But when you're teaching that field to someone, applications are surprisingly irrelevant. That's not to say that applications are useless or something, but it's that you need to be able to explain a topic without applications in order to explain it really well. If you can do that, if you can explain a topic without explaining the applications, that means you can convey the intuition behind the subject. And if you can convey the intuition, then you don't need to do anything else. Because then you can understand it, and that is brilliant. And that's why I like researchers, because when it comes to research comes before applications. So that basically is like a great filter of people who are interested in the science for the science. Once again, nothing wrong with being interested in science for the applications. That is how science is utilized. That's completely fine. It's just that when it comes to explanations, it is best to have people who are interested in science for the science. And then, as I'm saying a lot, it doesn't sound great, but I genuinely, nothing against people who are interested in science for the applications. Because once again, there's a big deal in science, the applications. I'm just talking about explanations in this case. There's a need to teach high school and university starter students. It's not bad in its own, but it would present a bit of a challenge. Because that would make a very slim margin of error. You know, the neat thing is, with Remco, the really neat thing is that even if we're talking about topics that are way lower than university level, we can still explain them in a way so that they don't clash with university level knowledge, which means that if someone does in fact progress and reaches master's level even, then the explanation, they don't need to unlearn anything, which I think is also really risky when it comes to explanations. Providing bad explanations can be more harmful than helpful. I think that's a fact that most people don't appreciate. That there is genuine harm that can be done with poor explanations. Because, once again, you have then things like basically goddamn primary schools or high schools where 9 times out of 10, when I have people who hated chemistry but like my chemistry videos, they mention their high school. And of course they did, because I personally have experienced that. You go to high school, the way chemistry is taught there is atrocious. Physics is usually not quite as bad in high schools. They usually manage. Mathematics is quite terrible. Mainly because it's really, really slow for some reason. Other than that, I don't know enough about other topics to unfortunately discuss them. Okay. Oh, these animations are really smooth. Chemistry is really dependent on having it explained in a meaningful way. I'm very, very well with that. Yeah, I mean, you know, in high schools, it's the fact that it's memorization game. 9 times out of 10. And then also explaining. I do realize why that is, which is that people are scared when they hear the word quantum. I am not confused about the reason, but explaining chemistry without explaining the underlying quantum mechanical concepts is a crime. And the quantum mechanics required to make chemistry orders of magnitude easier is really not complicated. You don't need to understand what a wave function is in order to use the quantum mechanical intuition to make chemistry easy. All you need is the quantization, and it's just, I have an expectation of it so much. Exactly, everyone hates it. It is terrible. It is so bloody terrible. And for what reason? It's because it's easy to test, that's why.
Chemistry was something I genuinely hated. Like in my A levels, I got A's in all of my subjects, but I got a B in chemistry. Genuinely hated that subject. There was so much fuckery going on.
It is bloody terrible.
Nah, man.
I have a love-hate relationship with chemistry, but mostly comes from stoichiometry. That's the study of measurements, right? Let's see how good I am at terminology.
The only part of the only part of chemistry that I liked was NMR.
Yeah.
The theory of NMR. We went over that a little bit, and that's the only thing I liked about chemistry.
It's not what chemistry is about, and they don't make the ability for students to memorize it. Exactly. What's more, memorizing the periodic table is so counter to the whole. It's periodic, for goodness sake! It is periodic. It's a periodic table. I am getting way worked up over this.
The reason why it's a table in the first place is because we don't want to memorize it. We want to use it.
It's periodic. It's in the name.
It's like, imagine going like 10 years. Oh no, 10 years is a bit less now. Imagine going like 30 years back and asking people to memorize log tables. That's the same thing I feel about chemistry memorizing periodic tables.
I mean, it is. It really is. Yeah, I should understand, use and shape form. The memorizing comes down to line. But okay. Yeah, that's why I mentioned the quantum mechanics underlying. Because honestly, if instead of memorizing a periodic table, which was a genuine task I have been given in my class, memorizing a portions of periodic table, and if instead of doing that, you just explain the 4 quantum numbers. Principal Azimuth magnetic spin. If I messed up their names, then that's gonna be. Let me see, because I'm getting a sincere case of jamais vu, where I'm not actually saying if magnetic spin were the same number. Quantum numbers electron. Principal Azimuth. Oh,
yeah.
Jeez, my dark mode is. Quantum number, yeah, good quantum number. Principal Azimuth magnetic spin. Thank goodness. For a second, I got such a serious case of jamais vu because for a second I thought, wait, magnetic spin? Aren't those the same? Principal Azimuth magnetic and spin. Explain them, and all of a sudden the entire periodic table doesn't require any memorization at all. Just the triangle where principal makes your electron grow, azimuthal makes it more wavy, magnetic is different orientations of that wave, and spins can be 2. That's it. Congratulations. That's the entire periodic table. Now, next you can also mention the exceptions. Palladium, for example. What's happening with palladium? Palladium doesn't obey the standard laws of energy. Why is that? Well, that's because electrons are more stable in the configuration of palladium. That's because you don't want to have a lone electron on a shell. It's all follows. You don't need to memorize anything. There are exceptions, but memorizing exceptions is also pointless. Unless you're specifically researching chemistry, in which case memorizing exceptions is useful because then you don't need to look them up every 3 seconds, but then you don't actually memorize them, you just learn it as you keep working with chemistry. Speaking of pKa values, I know from certified because I work with enough to be etched. That's funny. Into my brain. Exactly. You shouldn't be memorizing, you shouldn't put conscious effort to memorize things. Memorizing should come naturally when you're working with stuff. If something doesn't actually come naturally, then I don't think it should be memorized. Let me just fix this up. I'm only 10% down with the video, goodness gracious me. But hey, I am not going to complain of all of this, because I would like to at least consider myself a man of solutions and not a man of problems. And if there is a problem in the world, the correct solution to it is not to complain, only to fix it. Hence the foundation, just to put some money where my mouth would be. Literal, I suppose, in a literal manner. It really. As I go to sleep, good night. Good night, Figgy. Good night. Have a good one.
Bye bye, figure.
Genuinely having an editor would help me out so much. I know that it is a boring thing to say. I know, I'm sorry, but like genuinely, I cannot stress enough just how many more videos I could make. How do you find something cool? Make a random first alternative character, put my message and redacted. Wait, hold on, let me. What? Revisions. I can find some cool stuff. In fact, I have an all matter folder open in the background all the time. No, oh, speak of the devil. I think this one would fit most. That one I think would fit most.
Yo. Okay.
Honestly, I hate chemistry before I found your video, so just because it was awfully explained to me. I completely understand this. It's honestly painful to me when I meet with people normally, and the thing is, I'm a workaholic, as you all know, which means that it's actually really difficult for me to talk about things that I don't consider work. By that, I don't just mean making videos or talking about the charity, but I mean like, if I'm explaining something to someone, then I consider that being productive, and that's why if I'm explaining things, then I have a really easy time just chatting about it. If I'm planning things, I have a really easy time. The problem is, for most people, they have such aversion to science. And I genuinely believe it's because of the way most of it is taught in schools. It is so counterproductive. But once again, no point in complaining, fixing, not complaining. If there are problems, solve them. Don't complain. Back to the, speaking of make it, goddamn work on the video. Be productive. The other day I was talking to an old friend and I told him I'm really into chemistry right now, and he could not believe me. Yeah. I'm genuinely glad you are, because I do believe it is interesting. Once again, only if explained properly. And I hope, I really do want to make more chemistry videos, because I haven't made all that many of them. But to be fair, there are so many more videos I want to make of all the different topics. How much does your workahol have make it? It's distilled. It's distilled workahol. Presumably in 20-30 minutes, the data gets passed in the bucket. I have to tweak grading code a bit where it works. Wait, the grading code? Oh no, that was my code, wasn't it? What happened? What happened? In my defense, I did code it at 4 in the morning, so I realized that there may have been some problems. Also, I didn't actually explain anything. I hope it was readable enough. Strings. Oh, in that case, fine. Oh, that's all improved. Okay. We're almost at 4 minutes. Let's go. the script right here is really poorly written. I know you can't hear it because I'm also listening to music and I don't want to be copyright stricken, but the script right here is really poorly written. Okay, there we go. Oh, we've gotten 2. That means I get 2 workahol points. 2 workahol points, 2 Gryffindor. There. Basic edit, 3 animations, animations. It's an old like system I use. Other animations, fuller edit. Audio, also done. 2 workahol points, 2 Gryffindor. Yeah. Heck yeah. Rechecking the full edit, all of these are finished. And now we're at 12%! Done! I'm still more behind today than I was yesterday. Damn it. The real fans waiting for the computer science series continuation. Wonder if I do also want the foundation to do some engineering and computer science stuff as well, because, well, I also like them. I do believe if they're explained properly, they can be nice. Kind of hard to see, so I'm going to change this up. I'm going to sleep now. Good night, Theo, then. Good night. I shall be going soon as well.
Bye, Theo.
I shall be going soon as well because I need to. Apart from working on the video, I have some more Dutch to learn, and I have a website to work on. Once Keeper pushes.
I read 15 pages of my notes. That's a comparable amount. That's, oh wow, nice.
Okay. You know what? I think that's a good place though. Actually, we have edited all of the animations we have made, which is good, and that's a good start.
Good start to the day.
Good start to the day, yes, in fact. It is. I'm not planning on sleeping tonight. and so I suppose that's it. Yeah, there we go. I will probably stream in a couple of hours as well. Probably gonna brew myself another pot of coffee and then do a stream. And for now, that'll be it. Thank you everyone so much for watching and have a great day.